Hello and welcome to the God's Plant Gardens. It is the 20th of May or the 19th, I'm not sure. I don't keep track of the date anymore. I just look at the sky and go, oh, it's daylight and it's sunny, so I'm going to go out in the garden. Or if it's cloudy and it's raining, I'm staying inside and writing some tunes. So it's been a bit rainy. We've had a lot of rain recently, and a few days ago we had rain. We had hail. We had a hailstorm, and the hailstones got to about that big, about the size of an M&M, and some of my plants, I mean, some of them that are quite tough, it didn't take much of a damage, but in some of the leaves where they're just bigger, there's more surface area. There's like bullet holes in the leaves, and that's how powerful that hailstone was. Should be having some nice sun soon. I am feeling the heat come. It has warmed up significantly today. So I just wanted to talk about rest and letting go, and what it's got to do with, well, anything really. Because what came to mind just then was I actually got a tarot reading, and those that aren't familiar or know what tarot is, or if you think it's just some evil witchcraft, tarot is actually just a way to look at your experience in a different way. It's to extrapolate the details into a form that you can read, as in the cards. So what happened in this reading was this person who read the cards went over certain things. I was like, oh, it looks like you're going through something here, and then other cards had shown that I should take rest, not as in just chuck everything away and leave everything, but as in to find time in my day to sit with myself, center myself, ground myself, and just take a breather really, just listen to the birds. And at that time of the reading I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? And now I understand. It's to take the time to assess situations, take time to rest, and take meditations. Because when, obviously in this world, or should I say in this reality, in this society, it's always about hustle, it's always about being hyperactive and doing the most you can, and really that's not going to do anything. That's not going to help you with anything, because even though being productive, just general productivity, like, you just go about your day and you do your things, not just sitting around watching TV all day. That doesn't do anything. It's once, maybe even in the start of the day, but once you've done some productive work, you have time in your day, specific time in your day, to let go, detach, and just rest. Because I have a personal experience about this, where, other than the tarot reading, where I've been going and going and going, and in the past, when I got tired, whether it was mentally, whether it was physically, I was just like, no, I can't allow myself to be tired and rest. I've got to keep going. And that frustrated me, that it tired me out even more. It made me even more stressed. It made me depressed and angry, basically. And it made me go, oh, why is this not coming to fruition as quick as I want it to? And things have got to take the time. It's got to take as much time as it needs to take, I guess. And so I was always in this feeling of stress. Firstly, because people around me, namely my parents, would try to what would you call it, add more stress to me by saying, oh, you need to do this, you need to, I don't know, go make money and fuck off, or something like that. And I'm just kind of sat there like, well, I do work pretty much every single day. I don't take days off. Like, I'm being serious, I do not take days off. Unless I'm, say for instance, I'm going to go to the beach, or it's a scheduled thing where I'm like, right, I'm going to go to the beach, or I'm going to go on a trip somewhere, etc. That's a day off. But and I'm not trying to be one of these toxic productivity people who say, oh, you've always got to be productive and never have days off. You've got to have days off when you need them, because this is coming full circle to what I'm talking about. After I keep getting stressed and I keep working and working and working, doing more and more and more, I got to the point where I'm just like, firstly, I got to the point where my body just said, no mate, you're not doing anything else. You're going to lie down on your bed now for an hour or two, and we're going to rest. And you're not going to do anything else, because if you do anything else, you're going to just be sluggish at it, and you're going to be coming right back here to rest. And last summer, I was in that mindset of just trying to be productive all the time, always going from A to B, A to B, A to B, doing this, and this. Because I remember I had all my plants set out, I had all my tomatoes set out, all the peppers in the sun and all that kind of stuff. All my plants out in the sun, and I'm doing other things, whizzing about everywhere. I'm sorting out my doing coding, doing the shop work, doing all the sales stuff. And they just got to points where there was multiple times in the day, and this was summer by the way, it was scorching, where I'd just come to the lawn here and just drop on the floor and not get up, and for, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour, I'd just be there on the floor, just like my body was just saying, this is enough, that's enough mate, You aren't doing anything else for now. That's it. And the meaning of this video is to literally just say that if you feel guilty, if you feel shameful for taking rest, well, I can't say anything else other than don't feel shameful and guilty. And the way, I guess, to not feel shameful and guilty is to literally, not necessarily force yourself to rest, but literally just, if you're tired and you feel like you should be getting on with things, you should be doing things, you should be, say, no, I don't need to, go rest. I mean, if you're in a 9 to 5, this is why I don't like 9 to 5s and office jobs where you have a boss, because I don't think that people should have bosses. That's stupid, because that's like slavery, you know. But not to piss people off and say, oh, you're slaves or anything like that, but you know, when it comes to the point where it's like you need to take a rest, you need to take a rest, because say you do work a 9 to 5 and it's a demanding job. If you don't take a rest, like say for instance you come home, maybe even it's a Friday and you take it in, you know, it's a weekend. If you don't take a rest on that weekend and just have a proper rest, and you like, say, you know, you got housework to do, but say after that housework you just lie down, you rest, you don't do anything, and that rest doesn't mean watching TV, watching television, watching Netflix. It doesn't mean watching movies. That's entertainment. It's entertainment. That doesn't mean video games. That's entertainment. You will see a video on this channel about video games, and I've gone back and forth with video games, and I don't mean to shame the people who play video games, because personally I do think video games are fun. I love video games, but I don't play them anymore because they aren't a form of rest, and if I'm not resting, I would rather be doing something like being out in the garden doing this, that and the other, or researching something, learning something, or writing something, or just, you know, building something creative, not playing video games. So just like to take a moment to light this up. This isn't weed, by the way. This is mugwort and lemon balm. Yes, you can smoke this. You can also drink it in tea if you're not a smoker. I'm not a smoker, but you know, if you know, you know. 420. So yeah, bless up. So mugwort is actually kind of a restful herb, along with lemon balm, as lemon balm is I'm pretty sure it's a nervine. I forgot what else it is. I'm pretty sure it's a digestive tonic as well. Something to do with the digestive system. Mugwort, I'm not sure, I've not specified it yet. I've not gone over it. Mugwort helps with your dreams. And obviously dreams help with your emotional, you know, say you've got emotional baggage, you need to work through it. Through your sleep, through your dreams. You will go through that emotional stress and sort it out. along with any other mental problems, all that kind of stuff. I've heard people, a pigeon literally just landed right there on this wooden thing. Hello. Vibing. Chilling with the trees. So, that's just another thing about rest. Sleep. You've got to make sure that you're getting good sleep, because how can I put this? I used to just not sleep at all. Like, I probably used to get 1 to 2 hours of sleep and that'd be it. I'd just be up all night trying to meditate, trying to go back to sleep, and it'd be it. I'd still get about myself. But yeah, it's always about, and as well I need to put in, say you're trying to be so productive that you're like, oh, I may as well get a few more hours in at night. Say it's 9, 10 o'clock, when really at those hours of the day you could be doing restful procedures and getting ready for bed, getting ready for sleep, so that you get restful sleep. Because if you are working and working and working, doing stressful things right before you go to bed, you're taking that stress with you right to bed, and you don't do any stressful de-stressing procedures before bed, you're gonna, well, like I say, you're not gonna get some restful sleep. You're just gonna be tossing and turning, thinking about what to do next. And I'm being tickled by a label. So it is just about rest. It's about, oh, hello pigeon. It's about allowing yourself to rest, allowing yourself to take that time out of your day to put everything down, to, you know, keep yourself from being stressed, keep yourself from being tired. Get it? Because if you rest, you're not going to be tired. And, well, yeah, that's it really. I just like to add another thing about the video games, because there was, alright, there's just a little bit of a story here. I had a break from video games, I think it was late last year. I completely cut video games out of my life, and then early this year I was like, oh, like I was just doing things, and then I was just doing this after this, after task after task after task, and I was just like, I want to chill out, I want to rest, I want to do something else that isn't, you know, productive, that isn't using a lot of energy. Because there was one day where I was fiddling about with my strawberries, and I was what I was doing was actually moving them up here to the top lawn, and I was just in a state of like, I think it was burnout. I was just like, this is enough. I can't do anything else. My mind, something is telling me just to stop what I'm doing and just rest and do something else. And what I was just thinking like, oh, I you know, playing some video games right now would be cool. Just chilling out, playing some video games, etc, etc. So what I did was install some video games, and I just, you know, played my video games. And what happened was, over time, up to now, I realised that video games aren't restful. They're actually a bit more stressful than restful. I mean, sometimes they can be, you can chill out, but I got to the point where I was like, this isn't helping me anymore, this isn't resting me anymore. And then I deleted all my video games again, and then I got back to work. But what happened again? I got tired. I got tired from just going and going and going and going and being productive. This time, obviously, because I've told myself, nah, I don't want to play video games anymore, I told myself, okay, it's okay to go lie down, take some rest, and just nap for a bit. You know, it was in the middle of the day, just nap for a bit, it's chill. I did that, I got back up and went about my business. I didn't need to play video games, I didn't need to watch TV, I didn't need to cry about it, I didn't need to get stressed about it. I just rested. And I don't mean to be some egotistical knob shaming people that can't rest, or shaming people who play video games. People who play video games, it's what you want to do. Back then I wanted to play video games. Now I don't want to play video games because I don't want to play video games, and I don't want to watch TV. Like, I've not watched TV for ages. I've not watched a TV program for ages. Unless I've been at someone else's house and they've had the TV on and they're just like, oh, watching this, and I was like, okay. You know, I do watch YouTube every now and then, but I watch YouTube for informational videos, for research and all that kind of stuff. And I don't really watch anything else. I don't really do anything else that is entertainment, should we say. Every now and then, maybe I'll watch some old. There's this thing called film theory. I used to watch it ages ago, and now I'm just like, oh, it's, you know, it's kind of interesting, just listening to the theory of films and all this kind of stuff. But anyways, I only do that for like 15 minutes, and then I'm like, oh, this is boring. But anyways, yeah. Now, I don't mean to be some toxic productivity person who says, oh, you can't have fun. You go now, people have their own types of fun, and I think it is people. Now, I'm going to bring in the word consciousness here. People are at certain levels of consciousness. Like, there's the people who watch the news. Now, I don't mean to diss people personally, but what I've got to say about that is just watching the news, it's like, it's fear porn, basically. It's just, you don't need to watch the news. There's nothing going on. If you are, see, there's, again, it's levels of consciousness. If you feel like you need to watch the news, you're going to go and watch the news. If you feel like, or you want to go and watch some TV program just to spend time, you're going to go and do that. Like, personally, I think watching the news, watching TV programs, and sometimes watching movies. I do like to watch movies every now and then, but right now I don't. I just think it's a whole waste of time, really, because I'm not trying to say, oh, you should be doing something else, but you could be doing something else. Like, people always go on about money and all this kind of stuff, and it's like, oh well, you work a job to get your money, and then you come home, you watch TV, you do all your other bullshit, and then you complain about not having enough money. But that's your problem. But anyways, that's not about the video. But anyways, yeah, rest. Take rest when you need it. Do not believe that you need to be productive 100% of the time, because if you start believing in that, that's what your reality is going to be, and you're going to run yourself dry, you're going to burn out, and you're going to be stressed, and you're probably going to shout at yourself, or you're just going to fall on the floor in a heap when you don't want to fall on the floor in a heap. You get me? So yeah, it's just about taking the time for yourself. Self-love, self-care, be there for yourself. You know, like, tell yourself, alright, we've got this far now, it's time to rest, it's time to sit down, you know, like a walking journey. You know, you can only walk as far as you can until your legs go, or until, you know, you get tired and you need to sit down, or you need to eat something. Pigeons going mad over here. And, you know, you just need to sit down, and it's normal, it's natural. You know, the pigeons do it, the deers do it, the horses do it, the dogs do it. How do you think dogs have so much energy? Like, my dog, for most of the day, she's just lying down snoozing, just, you know, observing what's going on. But when I take her out for a walk and I let her off the lead, she's like, phew, and she's got so much energy, and she's just doing things just randomly. You know, she's got loads of energy. That's something to think about. So yeah, we'll close it off. Get yourself rested. Keep that peace, love and unity. Let's all come together in community and make this world better. Peace.